Hey guys, Dark91 here, doing a review of Dragon Ball Super episode 67. I saw it about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. My review is a little later uh, because I play the game Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Japanese version, and I do videos on them from time to time when something comes up, good that's worth my time reviewing and telling you guys about. And today in Japan it's Sunday, and if you play the game on Sundays, what they right now during the month of November and early December, that because of the 100 million download celebration, they have these Dokkan events at half stamina. So instead of it being 40 or even 50 stamina, it's 20 and 25 stamina. So I've been doing the 20 stamina exit as exhausting as it is, it dropping 2 medals instead of 7. I had no choice but to do that because I don't have a good enough team to do the super stage. So I was doing this. So after I watched the episode, I went back to the game, and I just darkened awakened him literally about 2 minutes ago. So I said, you know what, I'll use this as my background. So there's my little. Everyone will say, "Oh, you're just making an excuse," and no, it's just an explanation because to me this was important, and it's not like I'm not doing the review at all. I'm still gonna do the review, but episode 67 just aired. It was an up and down episode. It really was. A lot happened. Um, and this is the second time that not only just Dragon Ball Super but also Toei Animation has hit me right in the feels. This episode hit you right in the feels towards the end, and you'll understand why when I explain towards the end of it. And as I say, as my disclaimer for every week and every video, if you do not want to be spoiled, even though it is after 9 o'clock, but some people still don't have time to watch it. If you don't want to know what happened, please do not click on the video. Click on the video after. And so the episode starts with Trunks absorbing the Genki Dama into his sword and attacking Zamasu. And not only that, but we also see that with his Genki Dama sword, Trunks cuts Zamasu in half. So not only that, but we see Goku and Vegeta still stuck on the ground, and Zamasu is still talking, and Vegeta, Trunks, and Goku are still surprised that he can talk even after being split in half. So then after that, he just yells, and you hear this childish yell, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna give it. This is a small shout out, but I'm pretty sure it was Syriax. I know a lot of you go to his channel for Xenoverse, his funny reactions and his reviews on Dragon Ball Super, but I believe it was Syriax that said when Beerus used his Hakai to defeat Zamasu, that Zamasu screamed like a little bitch, and this is the third time in this arc that Zamasu has screamed like a little bitch. First time was when Beerus used Takai on him. Second time was when Trunks used the Mafuba on him, and then it was tonight's episode where he got cut in half. So we see him get cut in half, and he did the whatever was in the middle of him. This light, this sparkleness, whatever I guess you could say the Twilight Zone or whatever you want to call it. It just surrounds him and he disappears. So then Trunks goes into base form and he's just looking at his sword, and Vegeta and Goku go up next to him just saying congratulations, you defeated him. And even Goku said that his sword, or the attack that he used with his sword, is very very similar to the Genki Dama, which I thought was cool. And it has been explained that Trunks has never seen the Genki Dama in his life before for him to know the attack. So and then we just hear some senile laughter, and that laughter was from Zamasu. And at this point, I'm like, okay, how, where are we get hearing this laughter? I thought he was defeated, but what happened was in that little area that Zamasu was standing in the light, um, that was, if you saw Trunks cut him in half, you saw the light, the sparkleness, the twilight zone that was in between the two halves. That was still there, just surrounding itself in the air. So what had happened was this red and black mist or smoke came out from that light and shot up in the air, and all we heard was just laughter and laughter and laughter. And that red and black mist or smoke has surrounded the entire earth. And then we see the image from space, and it just seemed like not just only the earth, but also the universe somehow was surrounded by this black mist or black smoke. And then on the earth itself, we see Zamasu's evil grin or evil smile. And then Goku and everybody looks up in the sky, and then we see Zamasu's face, just millions and millions of Zamasu's face in the sky. And then Goku and Vegeta tried to go Super Saiyan Blue, but they can't because it was Gowasu had explained that their final Kamehameha used a lot of their juice, which was one of the reasons why also that Vegito had split up so early. If he did not do that attack, the fusion would have lasted maybe a full hour. But because of how strong that attack is, it used up all their juice, and it seemed like they had defused very, very early because of it. And so Trunks goes Super Saiyan. He goes up in the air. Goku and Vegeta follow him. Goku starts with his Kamehameha. Trunks is in his Super Saiyan form, just regular Super Saiyan, not his new form. And he yells out Gallic Ho. And then I thought Vegeta was going to do the Gallic Gun as well, but he did Final Flash. So they all did their attack, and all three attacks formed into one giant attack, and they hit the sky, but that didn't work because it just seemed like they just hit a wall, or they hit something. They hit something really strong that's not gonna break. So then we see these Zamasu faces that are in the sky shoot out some red beams out of their mouth. So we see and Trunks and Goku and Vegeta try to block it, but of course it was too strong for them because they've used so much power during that fight. And then they try to block it as well because they want to surround themselves around this, I guess you could say, force field, even though it broke. But they try to what's the word I'm looking for? Use the force field around them three, Mai, Bulma, Kawasu, and Supreme Kai. But of course, one of the attacks just hit them head on, and they all got knocked out. And then after that, Goku and everybody would just take a long time to get up. And then Trunks tries to sense the rest of the humans that are on the Earth, but he can't, and he says this because Zamasu had killed everybody. So Mai goes PMSing, loads her shotgun, shoots it at the sky, thinking that would have done something, but of course they did nothing. So she empties the barrel, and even Trunks walked up to her and said, "This not gonna work. Everybody's gone." So then Goku was feeling around his body because he got up and he was even more pain after getting knocked down to the ground, and he notices that he has the Zeno button. So then he asks Supreme Kai, he says that Supreme Kai, will the button work in the future? And he's like, and Supreme Kai was like, yeah, the button should work in the future. So then Zeno-chan shows up. Goku just hugs him. He's like, oh, it's Zeno-chan, you're here. And then Supreme Kai, Gowasu, they all bend down. Bulma says, it's very nice to meet you. And then Goku explains to Zeno-chan what was going on. And he was like, Nanda? And he's like, what's going on? So Goku was telling him what went on. And even Zeno-chan was like, why is there smoke? Why is it black? Why is it dark? Did he, and he asked Goku, did you do this? He's like, no, 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 I didn't do this. And he looks up in the sky. It's like, oh, Zamasu did it. He destroyed the Earth and killed everybody on Earth. So Zeno turns like, okay, I'll handle this. So he stretches out his arms. We see some light or something kind of comes out of his hand, and he said that, okay, I'll destroy the timeline. So then he tells everybody to he tells Mai and Bulma to get in the time machine and leave, and he tells Supreme Kai and Gowasu to leave as well. So Vegeta and Goku jump on the lake of the time machine, and they teleport back into the present. And speaking of the present, because of Zamasu engulfing Trunks' Earth around himself and the universe, it seemed that also started to affect the present because Kid Trunks, Mai, and the rest of Shu and Pilaf and Bulma was there as well. Not Bulma, Chi Chi was there as well, and you see Zamasu's face in the sky. So then after Zenotron um, destroying the timeline, um, everybody's in the present time. My Kid Mai runs to Trunks and sees in Trunks and it's like, oh my, and then we see adult Mai come out of the time machine. And she looks at Mai looks at Mai. Kid Mai looks at adult Mai looks at Mai, and she starts blushing. And then Kid Trunks looks at adult Mai, and he starts to blush. Then adult Mai looks at Kid Trunks, and he just runs away the same way Mai would do with adult Trunks. So then Goku asks Trunks to go back to the wherever future Zeno-chan was, because he was just floating in the air, and he wanted to get him to go back to present time when he's Zeno-chan. And then so they come back, and Zeno-chan pops his head out of the time machine, and you see Mai, the Pilaf gang, you see Whis, Bulma, and then Beerus was eating, and he sees Zeno-chan, and he's like, Zeno-sama. He runs over there, and he just, and everybody was in a straight line, and everybody was bending down. I think Goten wasn't bending down. I think Kid Trunks wasn't bending down, but everybody else was. So then, Supreme Kai and Gowasu show up there as well. Gowasu says that he feels like this is his fault, and Goku asks Supreme Kai if they can go to see Zeno-chan. So we see Goku, Supreme Kai, Whis, and future Zeno-chan there. And then present, it feels like I say Zeno-chan too much. But present Zeno-chan was there, and he sees Goku, he gets all happy. And then both Zeno-chans meet each other. And Goku bends down and is like, he takes both their hands so they can give themselves a handshake. And you hear them both simultaneously saying the same thing at the same time. They're both happy, and it seems like that the friend I think at the time Goku didn't know about who he was gonna go send to be Zeno-chan's playmate. But then he sees, okay, future Zeno-chan is the same thing as present Zeno-chan, so we might as well have them meet each other. And then we see that Whis and Daikaishin is talking, and in this episode we find out that the Daikaishin is Whis' brother. So the Daikaishin is also an angel, and he's Whis' brother, which begs the question, is Vados Whis' sister? We may never know. But first we find out that Whis is an angel, It was like 3 episodes ago, and then this episode we find out that the Daikaishin is um, Whis' relative, is Whis' brother, and not only is he Whis' brother, he's also Whis' older brother. Which, I to me that little tidbit was kind of awesome because I was wondering if we would ever see the Daikaishin ever again. But they're playing around, so they go back into the present. You know, everybody's eating, and then Whis is talking to Mai and Trunks, and Whis tells there's a timeline that you can still go, and he explains that because of Beerus defeating Zamasu, even though it wasn't their Zamasu, um that timeline that had opened after Beerus defeating that Zamasu, that timeline is still there. And Bulma says, also before all of that, Bulma had mentioned, well, why don't you go back to your timeline before all of this happened? But um, then she remembered that if he were to do that, Zamasu would be there, and they would have to go through this all over again. And this was a crazy arc. So then, after that, we see not Bulma, Mai and Trunks saying their goodbyes, and he's shaking Goten's hand. He's saying goodbye to Kid Trunks, and he's saying goodbye to Bulma, to Goku, and then Trunks sees Vegeta there at the time machine lake, and I thought that Vegeta was just gonna stand there and just at the I forgot when, but I believe it was at the end of the Cell arc where he's just standing there and he puts up 2 fingers, and Trunks did the same thing, just symbolizing that they're saying goodbye, even though Vegeta doesn't show any type of emotion, even though he showed a lot this arc. And then he surprised everybody, even Trunks, but Trunks blocked it, so he goes and he strikes or he lunges towards Trunks, and Trunks blocks it while he's holding the briefcase that Bulma gave him and had a whole bunch of capsules so that he can use in the future. So then Vegeta smirks, is like, yeah, I would assume that he's probably saying, yeah, that's my boy. And so Bulma, I keep saying Bulma, I don't know why. Mai sits on one of the ledge of the time machine while Trunks is setting up the coordinates, and then we see in the sky Piccolo and Gohan, and they got there just at the nick of time before they left, and Gohan is out of breath and he's sweating, so it's probably he was either training with Piccolo, or he was probably doing some studies, and they both find out that Trunks was leaving, so they try to hurry up as possible, as fast as possible. And then Trunks just he starts he sees Gohan waving, and then he starts tearing up because he just remembers his Gohan of his time. He remembers future Gohan, and we see the future Gohan's image in front of present Gohan, and this just shows a mini flashback of Trunks when he was a kid, and adult Gohan from the future. And so I'm not gonna lie, I did get teary eyed. That was a small emotional moment, and as I explained earlier in the episode or in the review, that this is the second time that Toei Animation has hit me right in the feels. The first one was seeing future Bulma die by the hands of Goku Black, and then this time it was a good emotional. It wasn't a bad emotional, and so then he closed. He wipes my eyes, telling him that everything will be alright. So he wipes his eyes. He just waves, and then they both smile, and then they're gone. And then we see everybody just on the ground: Goku, Bulma, Chi Chi, Goten. Everybody that's there just standing, looking at the sky. And that was the end of the episode. as I, like I said, this episode was an, a roller coaster, because not it was very good at the beginning, seeing Trunks semi defeat Zamasu, even though he was completely defeated. And then we see the funny lightheartedness when we see Goku bring future Zenotron to present Zenotron so they can have fun, because I'm pretty sure the same thing would have happened in the future if Zenotron wanted to meet Goku, saying that he wants Goku telling him, "Oh yeah, I'll bring you a playmate. I'll bring you a friend." So I'm pretty sure that would have happened in Trunks' timeline as well. So that was the funny lightheartedness there, and then it was just the last moment, the heart touching moment at the end, seeing Trunks leave, and a lot of people thought that Trunks would die. It was like, oh, Trunks is farewell. So everybody just assumed that Trunks was gonna die. That wasn't the case, and I was on Facebook and it was like, listen, as that's and everybody is just sees as all we got was a provisional title. All we got was part of the title that said Trunks farewell. So everyone just got their panties up in a bunch and started explaining, just trying to um, tell everybody, oh, Trunks is gonna die, Trunks is gonna die, and then later on we find out the full title of episode 67. But I loved it. It had the action, I had the funny lightheartedness, and I had the emotional heart touching, and it had it all for me. And I'm pretty sure that there are going to be some people still complaining about the episode because they still want to critique it. They just don't want to say, "Oh yeah, the episode was good." The episode was good. There was nothing wrong with it. It was flawless or whatever. But to me, I didn't have a problem with this episode at all. It wasn't like last week where we had a giant retcon with Vegeta, and then we had Trunks just learning so many fucking attacks and just becoming Chuck Norris of the future. But to me, I didn't see no problems with this episode at all. It hit all 3 points. It hit the action, it hit the funny lightheartedness, and it hit the heart touching at the very, very end. To me, that's an amazing episode. As a fanboy, episode 66 was an amazing episode, but as a reviewer, you sometimes have to step away from being a fanboy and criticize what you see as you would of everything else. So to me, this episode, I'm sitting down as a reviewer. I'm not sitting down as a fanboy, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard that when I did my 66 review episode, or even when I did my review for episode, or when I did my preview / prediction for episode 66. This time I'm actually sitting down. I had enough time to actually watch the episode, let it sink in, and then apply my thoughts to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And not many of these episodes happen, but we are gonna get a few. I don't want to say filler. I don't like saying filler, but we're gonna get some lighthearted episodes after this giant arc. This arc was 20 episodes. This was the largest arc compared to Universe 6 and 7, Battle of the Gods, and Resurrection of F. But I loved it nonetheless. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next, and I can't wait to find out what's gonna happen in the next arc, because we are getting a next arc, and it will debut in December. And if you guys don't know, Geekdom had made a video about it. Rhyme Style, I believe, made a video about it. Quaman made a video. I know there were quite a few other YouTubers that made a video about it, but I'm rambling on just a little too much. So what I'm gonna do is go to Harry Price's channel, make a review on that, and then put it up as well. So that'll be done after this. So I will see you guys in the next one.